Go.
Hi, I'm Fer. I'm an anthropologist from Mexico, and I'm a feminist. And I would like for every woman on earth to know when they're pregnant.
Yeah, I'm Xavier from France. I am biologist and bioactivist. I love micropipetting. And I try to collaborate with people around the world in Mexico and in India to solve a challenge around pregnancy test detection and frugal science.
Hi everyone, I'm Haashika Raj. I'm from India. I'm a physics undergraduate student working with the crazy rioters to devise a pregnancy test kit which is affordable by everyone around the globe.
Hi, I am Paola. I am from Mexico and I am a technology undergraduate. I'm a feminist and I am, I mean, me together with my teammates are striking for a sexual and reproductive health appropriation for all women.
And we are all crazy pussy riots
Yes!
from around the world, and we will show and explain you what we are doing now about pregnancy kits and collaborative kits.
Pregnancy diagnosis isn't a linear process. As a team, we found out that there are many previous steps of misinformation and data gaps for women to know their pregnancy status and how their bodies work. We started thinking about this process as a time of uncertainty that can be divided in multiple steps that change across borders, culture, and reproductive health habits. Women's reproductive information and diagnosis is regulated by designs that don't include every woman alive. Stigmatization, high price, because sometimes you need to take two tests to avoid false negatives and false positives, and hard to find information lead to women finding out that they're pregnant till the end of first trimester, where physical evidence such as the belly, nausea, headaches, or the interruption of menstruation is a diagnosis for pregnancy, or bad reputation issues that impact the mental health of women appear. Current pregnancy testing is designed for only a part of the women on Earth that can either afford it or acquire them as easy as it is to buy any other product. We, as a team, gather a multidimensional approach to help women reduce the uncertainty and mysticism around their bodies through frugal science, divulgation, and local networks. Women should be able to tell if they're pregnant as easy as it is to know if we have a fever.
Pregnancy testing around the world. The method of detecting pregnancy was done using animals and plants as the indicator. The various indicators include wheat, barley crops, mice, rabbits, and frogs. With more improvisation, the pregnancy test kits became more scientifically approachable. On the global contrary, we see varied data sets which indicate the uneven availability of healthcare services. In India, the average cost of a rapid diagnostic pregnancy test kit is around rupees 40 and a laboratory based test costs rupees 600, which is about 19% of the monthly minimum wage. Predominantly, there is no reimbursement of the test kits. Abortion is possible until the 24th week of gestation. In France, the average cost of a rapid diagnostic pregnancy test kit ranges from around €1 to €4. A laboratory based test costs around €17. Reimbursement of the testing is possible under proper prescription. Sometimes they are freely distributed through family planning schemes. Medicated abortions can be done within the fifth week of gestation, and the instrumental abortion can be done until the 12th week of gestation. In Mexico, the average cost of an RDT kit ranges from around 60 to 200 Mexican pesos. A laboratory based test kit costs around 270 Mexican pesos, which is around 99% of the total minimum wage. Reimbursement is not available as the healthcare institute is always in a collapse state. Abortions can be done until the 12th week of gestation. Sadly, only 2 of the 32 states in Mexico have legalized the procedure. Women from all across the country travel to Mexico City and Oaxaca for an abortion. Hence, most of the abortions in Mexico are illegal. As seen, the individual countries have unique needs and resources. This variation is one of the key goals for us to fix and normalize.
Ask yourself the question, I am pregnant or I am not, is a common situation throughout the world across borders, in all socio-economic and cultural positions. However, differences in access to knowledge, as well as inequalities in accessing the materials for asking this question still exist. While this is a fundamental question for deciding about your own body and access to healthcare services appropriate to the situation, we have decided to explore this weaving of problems from the position of embarking each person who wishes to do so as a co-researcher, and equipping them with a free open source toolkit that can be translated, modified, and shared.
So we have approached this problem in lots of technical ways to gather all the knowledge that we have and that we can share with women so they can start answering questions. We will go through some of them so you can see the journey that we're thinking that women can take on finding out about their own pregnancy status.
Reagent based testing. In the scientific approach, we use the method of calorimetry. Calorimetry is a technique used for measuring the concentration of a known constituent of a solution by comparison of colors of standard solutions of that constituent. Various reagents such as the Kober-Ittrich reagent can be used. The presence of HCG and estrogen derivatives can be determined from the P using this method. When the experiment is performed properly, the results are accurate and there is a reduction of false negatives. Most importantly, this approach is fully biodegradable, unlike the rapid diagnostic pregnancy kit, as it is made of plastic.
The frequency of hormonal exchanges is subject to change due to stress factors, and menstrual cycle duration tends to be predictable just up to a certain point, so there is never this direct iterative process of information exchange of what's going through in a woman's body on a specific day. Vaginal pH and fluids are important indicators of the stage of the menstrual cycle that a woman is going through, and low-cost pH indicators such as red cabbage or beet indicators can allow for this iterative information exchange and register happen.
Another interesting approach we're taking into account is frog testing. Ever since the 70s, scientists discovered that clocked frogs lay eggs in approximately 24 hours if injected with pregnant women urine. We're considering this approach as an alternative for specific places around the world as well, as it proposes a diagnosis using field tools. As you can see, there are multiple solutions that might help to solve this complex puzzle. Our main idea is to create a structured meeting point where science, self-register, and local networks meet. We want to create a pretext to involve labs with specific and real women questions during this process, and being able to translate any answer back to women. Therefore, our specific design is the kit.
A free and open source kit that could be translated into many languages. A comics book accessible on the web and printable, displayable on the walls. Pictures drawn to bring the pregnancy test into the pop culture. It introduces the subject of pregnancy tests and the current problems identified, as well as societal and individual issues, a kind of information mediation. Then it recalls facts and data through a story in which a person reading can identify. Then the comics book invites people to take action. Thumbnails that tells how to organize locally in small groups to share knowledge and to deal with this problem. Organizing a workshop on how to disassemble a pregnancy urine test and what to learn from it. And the final part is an open window to become a co-researcher into pregnancy test exploration. What are the possible solutions to the problem, like collective mobilization, prototyping new tests like us, knowledge and prototype sharing, etc. In addition to this comic book, we are working on designing a setup minimal toolbox to work on your own on pregnancy test detection, DIY, like a curiosity-driven science into the pop culture.
We also know that pregnancy diagnosis is a permanent necessity and does not wait for science. Current pregnancy strips can be produced at a large scale for ultra-low cost, and distribution and access of the strips are part of the biggest issue. That's why we want to implement a partial solution to it, including a full page of 20 pregnancy and ovulation strips in a specially designed bag to include in the printed version of the comic book, along with a calendar for women to self-track their body changes as a private diary to detect self-patterns.
We still have gaps to fill. Here are some of them. We need to define the design of the comic itself and its illustrations, identify local networks for the comic to be distributed. We need a permanent scientific commitment for the questions we are presenting here to be answered and constantly updated in order for us to bring these answers to whoever is looking for them through the comic. Finally, we want to make a basic toolbox that comes included with the kit for you to keep on working on your own pregnancy tests.
Thank you so much.
Merci de nous avoir écoutés.
Nandri.
Gracias.